some pretty not cool stuff because he's a cup.
Yo, what is up, PK fam? Today I got a tutorial for you on one of my signature moves along with the cork. You should check out the tutorial. I know I'm a professional plugger, but anyway, today's tutorial will be on the swing castaway backflip. Let's get some examples rolling and then let's get to it. Jesus Christ, I'm on a playground. It smells so much like weed. Okay, so before we get started, a couple prerequisites you should have already is a regular backflip, obviously, a regular castaway, obviously, and actually a pop cast, because this move is more like a pop cast than a regular castaway. And then, of course, you should be comfortable on bars. If you, like, never swung on a bar, you might want to do some swings, learn laches, things like that. But yeah, it's just swing on bar. We've all done it. My tutorials for all of those moves will be in the description below. With that being said, this is also a very technical move, which kind of goes along with very hard to learn. So you need to do the technique pretty dead on to be able to do it easily. Anyway, let's stop talking. Well, let's talk more, but now about how to do this move. As always, let's start with the technique. Okay, so to kind of explain the way you should swing into a swing castaway, we're gonna think about a regular swing set. You've probably learned this when you were a lot smaller, but when you swing on something like a swing set, you swing your feet forward to go forward, and then only once you start falling back is when you drive your heels back, like so. Forward. The same thing applies when you're swinging on a bar for a swing cast or almost any other move to get momentum. On your forward swing, so when your chest is going forward, you swing your legs forward, and only once you start swinging back is when you swing your legs back. Do not swing your legs back prematurely. Swing forward, and then swing back. It is also important to keep in mind you should try to keep your legs straight if you can. I'm just slightly bending my legs because this bar is a little low. Now we learned how to get the momentum. So once you're swinging really fast, now to actually go into the swing cast. So the way that we get height on the backswing for a swing cast is on your forward swing. Once you swing as forward as you can, you try to shoot your feet to the sky. And then, once your feet are as high as you can and you start falling backward again, you swing them straight down almost, and then back up. So you're creating a very sharp U. So it would be like that, instead of like a really wide one. So this would be the good one, and this would be a bad one. Okay, so now that we know how to swing into the swing cast, now to how to actually execute the flip of the swing cast. Now also keep in mind, you don't really need that much momentum at all for a swing cast if you have the right technique. If you have bad technique, then you're gonna need momentum. So now we're starting off from, we're already in our backswing, getting ready for the backflip. So currently we are at this point. Once you're about exactly below the bar is when you should start arching. Now arching is when you try to lean your chest forward like this and try to make a C shape while by driving your heels backwards. So arching is this. So what I'm trying to say is that you're trying to make this position, but basically while you're swinging backward. So now we're swinging backward, and then once you're right below the bar, you're doing that arch shape. So what you should be doing so far is this. If you're just doing the move as I'm explaining it. Now the next thing is you're holding that arch throughout the whole swing cast, and then once you're about horizontal, so about here, so pretend like the bar's right here, you want to think about snapping shut, kind of like a pike. We're straightening our body, and then we're tucking really fast. So that's very important. You want to do the arch first, and then once you're horizontal, you want to straighten your body, and then you want to tuck. What a lot of people do is completely forget about the straightening the body part, so the snap, and they go straight from the arch to the tuck, which will kill the speed of the rotation. Now, while you're doing all three of those steps, the arch, the snap, and then the tuck, you should be trying to like throw the bar at the ground. And then from that last step, it's pretty self-explanatory, as in just a regular backflip. You're still throwing down, and then once you feel like you've gotten to your full tucking position, you just let go of the bar, you don't pull in at all, and then you tuck by grabbing your shins, and then do a regular backflip and land. So that's basically the technique of the move. Let's just see another quick slow-mo just so you can get a quick look at it. So now that we got the technique out of the way, remember, technique is a very important thing in this move. Now let's go to common things people do wrong and how to correct it. Now, since there are so many tiny things to do with this move, there are a lot of things that people do wrong commonly when they first learn it. So these next two things come hand in hand. What the heck? Why am I so blurry? Okay, so these next two things come in hand, so pay attention to both of these things. The first thing is holding on too long before you snap. So what this means is you're above the bar, so you're not horizontal to the bar, and you're still arching, and then you basically just do a regular pop castaway. So the first thing that I did wrong there is holding on too long to the point that I'm above the bar and I can just push off of it. And that's the other thing. You're pushing off of the bar instead of throwing the bar down. Now the next thing, and probably the most common thing that people do wrong with this move, is forget, as I said before, forget to snap. Remember, there's 3 motions to execute your backflip. There's arching, there's snapping, and then tucking. So this is the arch, this is the snap, and this is the tuck. So this is a clip from Woodward of when I was first starting to work on my swing casts. Now I didn't necessarily forget to snap, I actually forgot to arch my back. Now that just shows that forgetting to do any of those 3 steps will hurt your swing cast a lot.
No. You got 4 vloggers ahead.
Notice how there's no arch. It goes straight from straight body to tuck. That is honestly everything I can think of, the most common things at least, that people do wrong with this move. But if you try it and you still can't pinpoint what you're doing wrong, feel free to DM me, direct message me on any of my social media, which will be in the description below. Now finally, the third step, how to overcome the fear of the move. This was honestly a very scary move for me because I was scared of hitting my head, and it's a valid thing because if you pull into the bar because you're scared, you're going to hit your head. What your body does naturally to try to prevent you from getting hurt will probably get you hurt. And as always, the solution to getting over the fear of anything is progressions. Baby steps, learn all of the prerequisites, which I mentioned before the tutorial. So backflip, castaway, then pop castaway, then get really comfortable on bars. And then after that, adapt your environment while you're learning this move. So do it into a foam pit, and then a mat, and then spring floor, and then grass, and then concrete. If you combine both of those versions of progressions, adapting your environment and learning the moves beforehand, I guarantee you this move will come relatively easy to you if you use progressions and all of that. It may take some time to get the technique consistent, which is the biggest thing about this move, but you will eventually get it. Just stay determined and keep practicing. And honestly, probably the biggest thing that I can say as a progression just to feel out this move is just doing the swings and then just not doing the backflip. And then as you do that like a butt ton, you're probably gonna think to yourself, if you're doing it correctly, man, this feels really good. If I just tuck, I can probably pull it around. And then boopity bop bop, you'll do it, and then you'll be really proud of yourself. Anyway, that is it for my tutorial on the swing castaway backflip, but of course, as always, let's end it with a quick visual overview. Okay, so, of course, to get the momentum, we're going to swing our feet in front of our body while also activating our core. And then, once you get to your front swing and only once you start falling backward, you're gonna start to drive your heels back, and then that is when you're going to get into your arch position. You're going to hold the arch position till you're about horizontal, then you're gonna snap like this, and then hold your tuck. Once you feel like you've tucked as much as you can, you're gonna let go of the bar, hold your backflip, and then see the ground, and then land. Now guys, if this tutorial helped you and maybe you even enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell button. You should also ring the notification bell button because I'm gonna be pumping out like awesome vlogs from the competition. I gotta stop sucking that competition hype dry. Please also comment other tutorials you'd like me to make. I'll see you guys in the next one. PK person out.
Oh, I wanna be like